Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Supernatural, episode 1414, titled Ouroboros, which premiered Thursday, March 7th, 2019 on the CW. I'm recording maybe almost 3 hours after the episode is aired, so huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first, then come back to see what I have to say about the episode. Other video reminders up on screen, so take a moment to remind yourselves of those. It's been a 3-week hiatus, and this is now finally over, so we can get right down to it. I'm going to try to do this in 10 minutes. So let's start the clock, and let's begin with what happened in this episode. So first off, the title itself, Ouroboros. I did not know what that meant at all. So I checked it, and actually it apparently is an ancient symbol depicting a serpent or dragon eating its own tail. Immediately I saw that, I immediately thought of the Hollow on the originals, and I didn't think it was called an Ouroboros. So that's a little fun thing there, and I guess it kind of connects with the whole snake and egg story that was going on in this episode, now that I think about it. But anyways, there's that. But timeline wise though, it has been a few weeks since episode 1413, which was the 300th episode, just because Dean mentioned that this particular case, they've been working on it for quite a while. So I'm assuming they started just after the events of 1413, and then it's taken them so long until now, or it was some time afterwards. But there's that. Also remember that 1409 and 10 are supposed to take place December 24th and 25th. So just for timeline markers there. Also that 1413 was supposed to be February 7th. Yeah, because it actually took place on the episode date. So there's that. Episode reminder, I want to say it's Michael's demise, but I'm still questioning that. So I'll get to that later on. But episode breakdown for the episode, everything was kind of jumbled up in this one, so it's like a huge focus. But the first one, I guess you can say for focus wise, was hunting down a Gorgon. Second one being Michael's escape, and the third one being Jack's power struggle. So with the first storyline with hunting a Gorgon, we get the demigod Noah, who is a Gorgon, who's kind of derived from the Medusa myth, but he ended up being a cannibal. He has a paralytic kiss, or paralytic venom, that he usually applies in a kiss. He has a pet snake as well, and he can glimpse the future every time he eats an eyeball, and then he takes on these like these snake eyes. So there's that. This is the guy that the Team Free Will has been hunting for weeks now, and apparently when he sees the future, when he's eating the eyeballs, he can't see any angelic beings. So Castiel and Jack, they don't appear to him. So every time he sees the future, he only sees Sam, Dean, and Rowena. He doesn't see the two celestial beings. So there's that. So eventually, after their encounter with him, and once they defeat him, he ends up knocking us into the second storyline, which is Michael's escape. So during their final confrontation with Noah, Dean manages to get his head hit so many times by Noah to the point that the cage he has in his head for Michael opens up, and Michael gets free. And he finds the next vessel being in Rowena, and he kind of threatens her to give her consent for him to take control, which leads to a fight between Jack and Michael, where Jack is using the power of that soul magic to not only expel Michael from Rowena, but to apparently disintegrate his angelic presence as well. Which also leads to the third storyline, which we kind of saw inklings throughout the episode. We see Jack coughing to the point that he's coughing up blood. He's trying to hide it from everybody. He's using a bit of soul magic here and there to get rid of the cough, but then it keeps coming back. But then later on, he manages to use more power when he cures Castiel from the Gorgon's venom, and then he uses it multiple times against Michael until he's defeated, to the point where it's the last scene of the episode. And after defeating Michael, and Jack apparently absorbs the Archangel Grace, I guess, that was left of Michael. Jack is revitalized, and he claims he's himself again and at full power, and he shows that his wings are back and that his eyes are glowing the way they used to, with the yellow ring, when we originally got introduced to him. So there's that. So tidbit-wise for the episode, we find out that Jack is going to keep Noah's pet snake, Felix. Also, he's still contemplating over why Noah told him the story of the snake and the egg, which Castiel said was meant to be a story about greed, and how Noah said that he couldn't tell which one Jack was, if he was meant to be the snake or if he was meant to be the egg. I really got to rewatch that scene again. I was kind of drifting out because it just seemed like a very stall tactic that he was using, but if it actually comes back later on, I would definitely have to revisit that. Also, we do see in the episode Sam and Rowena playing or pretending to be a couple with a sick dog to gain access to some anti-venom at the veterinarian clinic, and Jack ended up being a dog, that Rowena put a spell on. So it was very interesting to see Sam and Rowena fighting as if they're a couple of many years, and like fighting over the silliest little things type of thing, to the point where the vet was like, oh, let me take him and deal with it and kind of get Woody from the fighting. So that was a little interesting there. We also do find out that Mary is on her way home from finishing a hunt. We get the report from Maggie, but we don't actually see Mary or hear from her specifically. So there's that. And tally or death out tally. There's a lot in this one. First, we get Maggie and a bunch of hunters were killed by Michael, who was possessing Rowena. I think I only remember seeing Maggie and then 3 other bodies in the war room, but it's still a lot. So there's that. We also get Noah the Gorgon being beheaded by Jack by a silver dagger. So there's that. And we also know of the 17 victims that Noah had across the country. We don't see all of them get killed on screen. We only see, one of them? 2 of them? No, 1 of them, but the second one escaped. So there is that. Now, moving on to the most shocking moment of the episode, I think it has to be when Jack destroyed Michael. I really wasn't expecting it in this episode because, again, this is episode 14 of 20. So I definitely was expecting it. Am I thrilled? Of course, because that means Michael's not trapped inside Dean's head. That means they don't have to go to plan B, being the Malik box. But I'm wondering if Jack killing Michael in the way that he did is going to cost him or not. But it was definitely a great fight there too, especially, which leads to top 3 favorite moments. My top one has to be the fight between Jack and Michael, or I guess Jack and Rowena, as we saw in the promos. So it was very interesting to see not only the type of power that Jack was using with the soul magic and then trying to fight off Michael's archangel power, but then to see the reaction the 2 of them had, how one was staggering and one was fighting back against it, and then how Jack was really powered up and then Michael was saying, like, I should have killed you when I had the chance. And then Jack was really owning up to who he was. He says that I am the son of Lucifer, I am a hunter, and I am a Winchester. And then he goes after Michael and, like, he forces his power into Michael to expel him from Rowena. And from there, he kind of circles around above them, and then he suddenly starts disintegrating, or he starts burning up before little bits of him gets absorbed back into Jack. So it was just a great display of power for Jack. I really hope this doesn't cost him anything, but chances are it will, for him to make that kind of sacrifice. But while I'm glad to see Michael gone, I'm still wondering what's going to be left for the remainder of the episode, because we still have episode 15, 16, 17, 18. We still have 6 episodes left. So there's that. Another favorite of mine for the episode was Castiel's talk with Jack about being cosmic entities and how they will always have to deal with loss, especially if they have human friends, because for humans, their existence is like a blink of an eye compared to the existence of cosmic beings if their lives aren't threatened. So like Castiel was saying, like, it's a part of them growing up. And then Jack's like, well, if I have all this power, why can't I save the ones I love? So it's a very interesting debate between the 2, and how Castiel was trying to teach him this lesson, but Jack was also bringing up valid points about, like, how, well, if I have this power, why can't I use it? Well, it just seems selfish for me to just keep it for myself, type of thing. So it was very interesting to see that kind of topic as well. Also, to see Castiel just try to explain the fragility, how fragile, I should say, the human life is, because even though Sam and Dean are special humans, they are still human. So it was a very interesting conversation. I'm glad they had it. It also brought up the conversation of Jack dreading the thought of ever losing Sam, Dean, or Castiel, or any one of their friends. So it was just a concept that he was not ready to deal with, understandably so, because Jack is still technically a kid, with him being only alive for like less than 2 years now. So it was a very cool conversation to have. Also, another favorite that I liked was when Rowena stood up to Michael inside her mind, and he was offering up saying like, well, if you say yes, I'll let you live. And then Rowena's like, not a chance. Fate has it that Sam is the only one that's going to kill me, not you, type of thing. And she was just standing her ground. So I really liked that. But it was also great when Michael kind of changed the offer and he said, well, if you don't say yes, then I'm going to take another body and kill everyone you ever love and care for in this bunker. And really honing in the fact for Rowena is that despite her attitude, she does care for the Winchester. She does care for Castiel. She does care for Jack. So it's just a very interesting way to reassure the fact that she's come a long way when it comes to her relationship with the Hunters. And it was just really interesting to see that she did say yes to kind of prevent that. But then Michael going on the fact that in a way she kind of knew I wouldn't keep my word type of thing. Like, if that's the case, then like, why would she say yes to begin with? But I just like the concept of like him calling her out on the fact that you do care for these people despite what you might say. So it was very cool for that as well. But with the timer going off, I definitely should have done 15 minutes. But moving on to top 3 Peach moments, I was a little disappointed that Maggie and the other Hunters were killed off. Especially in this episode where Sam thanked Maggie for stepping up at the bunker and helping him out while he was not there. It was just like she was finally like moving up in her role there, finally settling in, and then now she was killed off. She had so much left going for her. It's just I would have loved to learn a little bit more about her. She was definitely growing in being a hunter and stuff like that. So it's just disappointing. But another peeve of mine is the fact that I really can't tell if Michael's death was true and genuine, or if it was staged to make us believe that he's dead, but he's really not, which I'll get back to in a moment. But moving on to what we'll remember most in this episode, it definitely has to be the fight between Jack and Michael. Also the fact that Michael's possessing Rowena, which was pretty cool. So there's that. But moving on to random questions very quickly, which I'm tying into the peeve I just mentioned, was the fact that is Michael truly gone? Which leads to, is Jack truly back to his old self? Or in exchange of using all that power with his soul to take down Michael, he ended up losing his humanity in the process, kind of like when we got Soulless Sam. Or is Michael secretly possessing Jack now and playing it off that he was killed by Jack, and now that Jack's the one that has to be fighting the possession that Michael has over him in his weakened state? So that's kind of why I'm a little peeved at the fact that I can't tell if it was a genuine Michael death or if it was him faking his death and just taking over Jack. So that's kind of where the peeve stems from. Also, I do have the new question of, if Jack claims he's at full power like his old self again, then do we have to worry about his soul burning out anymore? Does he even have a soul to risk losing? Because like I said at the beginning, did maybe he lose his humanity or his version of a soul when he used up that magic to take on Michael? So that's another intertwined question there. Also, another question was, how did Michael possess Rowena? I thought for the Archangels it had to be a bloodline thing, so how was he able to possess her? Or is it because it's only a momentary thing then he was able to, or because of the magic she has infused in her body? Was that another reason why he was able to possess her as well? And last question is Felix the Snake still dangerous if Noah, the demigod Gorgon, is dead? Also, is the snake even magical at all, or is it just a regular snake that he just happened to be buddy-buddy with? So that's the question there, and that's it. So moving on to predictions very quickly, based off the promo for 14-15, it looks like we're going to go to a small town that really has you feeling like you stepped back in time with this old-time feel. The synopsis for the episode reads that Sam and Castiel follow a case to a picturesque little town in Arkansas, only to find out nothing is idyllic as it appears to be. And then Dean and Jack take a road trip to visit an old friend. I have no idea who the old friend is. Thankfully, they were not teased in the promo, or I didn't catch them being teased in the promo, and it's going to take huge restraint not to check the IMDb page just in case they're listed there. But I'm excited to see who it is they could be visiting. Maybe Donna, maybe Jody. Maybe it's someone we haven't seen in a very long time, maybe. I don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see about that. But otherwise, that is pretty much it, guys. What did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next in the final 6 episodes of the season? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts, theories, opinions about all that good stuff. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. So check that out. I am behind. I will get back to it shortly, hopefully. So be on the lookout for that. Also, WordPress link is down below as well. Everything I post online is connected to WordPress. It's a work in progress, but it's a little more organized. So that's something there. I do have to get back to that as well too. So there's that as well. Also, live journal entry. The link for the page will be down below. Hopefully I'll get them updated as soon as I can. But the whole point of my live journal entry links is a recap of the episode as I watched the episode for the first time. So it's jot noted versions, keeps things in order. It definitely helps me keep things aligned until official transcripts are put online for me to check out. So they help you out great. They definitely help me keep things in check. So check that out if you need to. I've been doing it since season 6. So it's kind of been routine for me now. But that is pretty much it, guys. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back next week to see what they say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week everywhere. Bye for now.